ever seen a person? I know I deal with bums all the time, right? Anyone who deals in relief work or any imam or something like that, you'll always have the guy that, that was a loser from a dunya perspective, and usually when you're a loser from a dunya perspective, you're also not very disciplined spiritually, walks into the masjid reeking of alcohol. Brother, I thought we agreed you're going to make a change. I thought that something was going to happen. Oh, I'm a changed man. I go home more now. I go to work every single day. What's he not recognizing? The alcohol, right? The same way spiritually. You have to recognize the poisons in your life that will prevent you from coming close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you really think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you khushu' in your salah when your eyes have been all over the place all day and all of a sudden you think you're going to go to salah and salah is going to be okay? You really think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to allow you to enjoy that relationship with Him? If right before salah you were sitting on GChat, Facebook or whatever, and you're chatting with whoever it is, and then 2 minutes left in salah time, Asr's at 4:38, it's 4:36, BRB, gotta go make salah, right? Then you put a smiley face or something like that. You go hurry up and rush and make your salah and come back and you write FML, almost missed my salah, or something like that. Alhamdulillah, the uncles don't understand that. Don't work on that acronym, okay? The point that I'm trying to say is, you really think Allah is going to give you change like that? You really think your khushu' will mean anything, that you'll be able to get any khushu' out of that? And essentially what that teaches us is that the Prophet ﷺ, he taught us about this heart, this qalb. Imam al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he says what? Your qalb is a space. You fill it up with anything else, you're not going to have any space for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in there. So the very first thing, the very first step to making that change as an individual, eliminate the things in your life that are a hindrance to you excelling in your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Get rid of those things before you go do good deeds. You know what, like Imam Sufyan al-Thawri rahimahullah said a very beautiful statement. He was asked, where's the priority, istighfar or tasbih? Doing good deeds or seeking forgiveness? And he said, if you have a dirty thobe, you don't accessorize it, you clean the stain. You clean the stain, you wash the stain off. If you got a big old brown stain on your white shirt and you go and you put $200 cufflinks on, people are not going to notice the cufflinks. People are going to look at the stain. Get rid of the stains. Then you can start talking about all these things that you can do. And unfortunately, subhanAllah, spirituality, the notion of spirituality. So this concept of progressive Islam / just spirituality and ignoring the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is essentially the same thing that the Christians did. Essentially what Paul proposed. It allows you to act as a fool your entire life. Not do anything in accordance with the Quran and the Sunnah, but to do like something super spiritual so that you can feel good about yourself. So essentially what you're doing is you're giving to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what you want to give Him, not what He wants you to give Him. I'll go and I'll pray and I'll do this extra qiyam. The problem is not the qiyam. The problem is that you're doing the things that will stop your qiyam from being accepted. The problem is not your dua. The problem is what you do after dua and before dua. That's the problem that you're having. Eliminate the stains from your life, and then you would find that you naturally would start to come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because once your heart becomes clean and honest, your heart starts naturally inclining towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your fitrah is to incline towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So eliminate the things that corrupt your fitrah. Number 2, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Some people, subhanAllah, they wait for really, really, really bad things to happen. They wait to see the consequences of their sins before they change those things. An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. What happens is that shaitan claws you, he digs you into this hole, or you dig yourself into this hole. It's a lot harder to climb out of that hole than to have taken care of it in the first place. And Imam al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he says, and I want you to think about this, prevention. Before you commit mistakes, some people, subhanAllah, are just very weak. We're all weak, right? But some people just wait to mess up and then I'll try to figure it out. Put aside the flaws you already have, don't go any further. And Imam al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he says that every single action that you commit, every single sin that you commit goes through the following stages. Number 1, it's a fatrah. passing thoughts. Number two, after it's a passing thought, it becomes a fikrah, settled thought. You start thinking about it. Hey, what about that? You know, shaitan caught your gaze with something. He got you with some sort of interest. Let me start thinking about this. You start to entertain that thought. You were not strong enough to cut off yourself before you could entertain that thought. You know, some people, subhanAllah, immediately the instinct, because their iman has become strengthened, it takes a long time to really, to raise yourself, to purify yourself. The minute that something walks by, or the minute that they see something, or that they're approached by something that's haram, immediately they go into istighfar. There's no time there for that. I mean, the amount of time, the time that lapses before they do istighfar and go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very small. Some people, passing thought, then I start entertaining the thought. After I've entertained the thought enough, shaitan has told me about how great the benefits of this action are going to be. And essentially we commit sin because we think that it's going to serve some sort of benefit to us. We think it's going to give us some sort of pleasure. And it usually does for a temporary time. Then it becomes a niyyah. I have the intention to commit that sin. After I have the niyyah, the intention to commit that sin, once I've made the intention to commit something, nothing's going to stop me. Then it becomes azimah. I'm determined to commit that sin, no matter what stops me. Right? At first, I was very hesitant. Now I'm full force. You know, I'll give you an example. There was a sister that I knew that wanted to take off her hijab just to rebel against her father. That was the only reason she wanted to go off her hijab. She was telling my wife, she was saying the first day she went to school, she felt so uncomfortable without her hijab that she threw her hoodie on. She didn't wear hijab, but she threw her hoodie on. Next thing you know, the hoodie came off. A few days, right? I have the intention. Next thing you know, then the tank tops came, then the cleavage came, then the short skirts came too. Why? Because you start becoming determined then to commit that sin. Your heart became hardened to that. That sin has become humanized to you. Hey, this isn't so bad. You became an addict. And that's why once you have azima, it becomes amal. It surfaced, it became action. Once it becomes action, it becomes adah, becomes a bad habit. Once you have a systemized sin in your life, trust me, that will kill your dua, that will kill your salah, that will kill your opportunity to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why from the dua that we make, Allahumma naqqina min al-dhunub wal-khataya allati takbisu ad-du'a. وَنَقِّنَا مِنَ الذُّنُوبِ وَالْخَطَايَا الَّتِي تَنزِلُ الْبَلَاءِ. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify us from the sins and from the mistakes that cause our du'as to be cut off and that cause the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to descend upon us. If you keep on with a bad habit, if you keep on with a sin, I want you to think about this, subhanallah. Rasulullah tells us that at one point you become defined by your sin. Just like at one point you become defined by your good deed. In Bukhari, the Prophet said that a person would tell the truth so much, he would be so truthful, حَتَّى يُكْتَبَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ صِدِّيقًا, until he's written with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a siddiq. Not that he told the truth one time. This is a truthful person. This is someone who's truthful in his faith. And then a person would lie so much, not that he told a lie here or there, until he's written with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a kadhab. Your name with Allah is a liar. SubhanAllah. You become defined by your traits. You become defined by your deeds. So the second thing, dear brothers and sisters, again, is that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Stop yourself before you fall into those situations.
سلامي سلامي لقوم كرام